The Huffington Post is reporting that NASA has decided we're going to Mars. They say the following, quote, NASA says preparations for a manned mission to the Red Planet are proceeding as planned, with humans expected to set foot on Mars in the 2030s. NASA Administrator Charles Bolden said, we are farther down the path to send humans to Mars than at any point in NASA's history. So here's the part of the article that absolutely blew my mind. Quote, the next Mars rover, planned for a 2020 launch, will carry the Mars Oxygen ISRU experiment, or MOXIE, as it's known, and it will take carbon dioxide out of the thin Martian atmosphere and produce oxygen. If it can do so successfully, humans will have oxygen to breathe, and rockets will be able to use that oxygen to help power the return trip home. Damn. To think that there's somebody who exists, or a group of people who exist, that figured that shit out, where even in theory they got it to work. Of, yeah, we can make the carbon dioxide oxygen, all we got to do is build this thing that does X, Y, and Z, and here's how it's going to do X, Y, and Z. To the point where they basically created a machine that they think it'll work, and they just got to send it there for it to do its thing. We're now living in a sci-fi movie. So the only thing standing in its way of us actually going to Mars, funding. They say we don't, with the current Congress and the political climate, we don't know if we can have consistent funding, and that is something that just absolutely positively stands directly in the way of us being able to do this. There's no certainty in this atmosphere. To the point where in the article they go on at a different point, where other experts say, we don't think we're going to get there by 2030, maybe 2050. Because they're anticipating the Republicans blocking and saying, no, let's not do this for reasons X, Y, and Z, cut off the funding, another sequester or whatever. And that's a little frustrating, man. So understand, guys, I wouldn't have been for this a few years ago. If you came and talked to me in 2013 and said, hey, would you be for this? I might have been like, no, I'm not for this. But I flipped, and I'll tell you why I flipped. If you do this, there are unintended upsides to doing a mission to Mars and having humans step foot on Mars. For example, new technologies. Nobody knows when or where the next internet is going to come from, this big invention that just changes the world completely. I mean, it was government funding in large part that is responsible for some of the most impressive breakthroughs that we've had today, technologically. So that trend, of course, will continue if we just do the funding. So the next internet is waiting if we just fund something like the mission to Mars, because you never know the unintended upsides of creating the technology that can get us to Mars. So that's one reason I'm for it. And the other reason is the Neil deGrasse Tyson reason, which is you inspire an entire generation of kids to get into science. And we need a lot more people interested in science, because virtually all the problems we have today are only going to be solved through science. So I'm absolutely for it. I like the fact that they're saying there's a chance we'll get there by the 2030s, and I just can't wait to see how far this goes, because I'd love to witness history.